Welcome to the quick guide of the second tab of your Presentation Excellence add-in, which is about the canvas functions. So what's a canvas? When you think of your slide, you have some different sections where you're supposed to work in and where you're supposed to place your objects in. And basically we have heading sections where your heading goes, and you have some kind of content sections where you place your shapes in, your text and such. Then you have some kind of footer section, which is down here below. But basically the main working area is your standard canvas, and this is this. And then when you're working on your slide, you should make sure that your shapes are always positioned inside of this standard canvas. And when you usually align your shapes by using the built-in functionality of place to the left and such, this is then related to the slide itself. It's not related to your working area. And this is where your standard canvas comes into play, because there you can define your standard canvas, and once you've done this, you can use this functionality up here to place, align, and distribute your content related to your standard canvas. And this I'm going to show you now. So what you have to do first, of course, is that you need to define a standard canvas, which is quite easy. So you can go to just add, for example, one new layout, and there you can see that you have your standard canvas. Once you have done this, you can just select it and then go to add standard canvas. You have to give it a name. Let's say it my company. And once you've done this, you can start using this functionality. So that the easiest is the quick aligning on the canvas. So for example, if you want to move then your shape to the left, as you can see here, it's not moving to the left of the slide, but to the left of your canvas. And the same applies to all the other functionality which is there. So top left, bottom right, and even more important, when you usually center your shape vertically, it's centered on your shape, on your slide. And as you can see here, there's not the center of your canvas. And this really destroys a lot of layouts. Instead, use the center shape vertically, and the shape is then placed right in the middle of your canvas. And the good thing about canvas is it's not only limited to one canvas, but you can use or define as much canvas as you like. So for example, if you're switching to a client canvas and you would apply your dimensions there, you see that the shape would jump outside of the canvas borders. Instead, just select your client canvas, add a new one, say client, say OK, and then you can just move it inside of your client canvas. If you're then switching back to your canvas, just go to select standard canvas, select my company again, set dimensions, and now you're working based on your canvas again. So this is the basic functionality of how canvas works and how to place your objects relative to your canvas. What's more canvas-related functionality is the distribution. So for example, when you have a set of shapes and you say, I want to distribute them on my canvas, for example, from left to right, you can click on there. Then you ask, do you want to add some spacing on the left and on the right? For the time being, I say no, I just want to say 0 spacing. And all your shapes will be automatically distributed evenly across your canvas. This is a very fast way to make sure that you're using the complete space of your canvas. This all can also be done top to bottom, and just start with that is there's no spacing in the end. As you can see here, they are now distributed from left to right as they were before. If you're not liking this, just align them to the middle, and now you can see that they are perfectly distributed from top to bottom. What's more is that you can also, when you, for example, are here, say that you have some kind of picture to the left, and the distribution should start from from this position on. In such cases, just select all your shapes, and you say this is the leftmost I can go. I don't want to use the complete space, and just say distribute shapes on canvas to the right. Still, I don't want any spacing to the right border, and as you can see here, the left one is fixed and the other ones are distributed to max out the canvas. One thing which I've just skipped was the adding some spacing. Might be that when you want to distribute your shapes across your canvas, you want to add some spacing to the left and to the right, just to make a bit more light. In such case, you can, for example, specify that I want to add 1 centimeter on both sides. Just press OK, and as you can see here, there's 1 centimeter here and 1 centimeter there, and the spacing in between is equally distributed. So this is about canvas-related distribution, which really helps you using the complete space of your canvas. Then we have also canvas-related sizing. This becomes handy when you have some objects and you just want to quickly use the maximum space of your canvas. In such cases, for example, when you want to use the complete width, just go there, say complete canvas width, and the shape will be extended to use the complete width. As before, when you have some kind of space on the left you want to keep, you can also say just max to the right, which is this one. And as you can see here, left is kept stable and just the spacing to the right is optimized. Quite frequently you also want to use just the left half of the canvas, which is this functionality. Of course, you can then use also the right half. And one more thing is that also quite frequently you have some pillars opposing each other, so you need to have some spacing in the middle, and for such you have the left half with space in the middle. And if you do this for the right object as well, you'll have the perfect alignment and with an equal space in the middle in between. So this is about canvas related sizing. And then we come to distribute and duplicate. This is about when you have, for example, some shape, for example an arrow like here, and you want to have more than one. You can of course start adding this on your slide and then saying distribute it evenly and make it a bit bigger, and this becomes messy, and as you can see here, and still it's not using the complete width, and when you drag it even further it's always kind of messy. What you can do instead is to use the distribute and duplicate functionality up here, where you have a lot of different options. The first one I'm going to show you is that you duplicate the object. You just have to specify how many arrows you need, let's say 4, and you can also specify if you want to add some spacing. I don't want currently, and then when you say OK, you can see that not only you will get 4 arrows as you've planned, but they will also be evenly distributed across your canvas. like before, you can also start on the left hand side and say distribute, or not use the complete canvas because I have a picture up there, but just start from this position and then add my 4 arrows. So let's say 4 arrows there, no spacing to the right, and as you can see here, the 4 arrows will be added to the right then. Even more frequently, it's likely that you will have an arrow which is not perfectly defined or matched to the sizing. So in such cases, you can use the duplicate to the right adjust object width, because this then supports you in choosing the ideal width of the arrow. So when you say now I want to have 4 arrows, you then ask how much spacing should be between those arrows. For arrows, actually it's okay to have a spacing of 0, and when you then press OK, you're also asked, do you need to add some spacing? I say no, and now you see that your arrows will be maxed to the space you have on your canvas. And this is really a very efficient way to optimize your spacing instead of doing this manually. Of course, this is also possible for when you start on the left hand side. There's then this functionality. Again, you're asked how many arrows do you need. I say 4. How much spacing? Let's say 0. Spacing to the right 0. And as you can see here, the arrows are not as wide, but still using the optimal space, and the spacing in between is the same. And just to give you one more idea, so let's get rid of those. How this works, you could also add some spacing. So if you want to add, for example, 4 arrows again, and you want to have some air in between, so that they shouldn't be stacked so closely. So let's say add half a centimeter between those, and additionally you want to have 1 centimeter on the left and on the right to be added, and you get your centimeter here, your centimeter there, and you get a bit more spacing in between. And this really gives you a powerful tool to edit the everything on your slide according to your needs. So those were functionality which is for the horizontal layouting. The same 4 functions you will get for the vertical layouting. So if you have a list or such, you can use it there. But basically, it's the same function-wise. Those 3, 2 I've already shown, which is adding a standard canvas. So if we have either your own canvas to be added or your customer canvas, this then use the add standard canvas functionality. If you want to switch between canvas, so between your company and your client, go to your client, and now you can move in your client canvas again. And the last item is, once you move from a client and you don't need your canvas anymore, you can also remove it. I think I can't select the one which is currently in use, so I have to first select my company again, and then I can remove the client canvas. And now if I'm going to select, it's just my company available. So this is about the canvas functionality, which is related to your basic working area and helps you to perfectly align content and sizing inside your canvas.